Hello, class. So today we will be talking about Algebra 1, area method, and how to read area tiles. And in this lesson, we will have three problems plus one extension. And we'll just talk about the extension problem more towards the end. So for the first part, in the first tile, what we have is we have a 1 by 1. So with this, we want to how to read area tiles. So first we want to do is just shade the tile because we want to show that how to read an area, and an area is just area equals length times width. So in this case, our area which be 1 times 1, which is just 1. So our area unit will just be 1. In the second example, what we have is 1 times x, and when we draw it in, what we have is the value of the area of just x, because we want to find the area of x, and x could just be any unknown number for now. So what we have is just area is equal to 1 times x, which equals to x. And for the last property is we have x times x, which is we want to find the area of the x on each side. So in this case, what we have is shading in both x's. So now this whole thing of the area tile, we will have x times x, which equals to x squared. So now that we got three of the main components down, we could now justify the rest of the problems. So now for the first problem, what we have is x plus 2 times x plus 1. So what we could do here first is we could mimic what we did in the first example. So what we did in the first example is we have is or a single block, which could be x, and then two smaller blocks. So this could be x, and this could be 1 and 1. So this could be x plus 2. Then we have is x again, and which is our 1. So now what we have is if we multiply our x times x, we have is x squared. And then now if we multiply our 1 times x, we have is another block of just x. 1 times x will just be another block of x. So now what we do is the very last question is now we have 1 times x will give us an x block, and then 1 times 1, which will give us a single block, which is just 1. And then 1 more, which is 1. So now what we have is x squared plus we have 1, 2, 3 x's, 1, 2, 3 x's, which is going to be 3x, and then 2 singles, which is going to be 2. Okay. So now what we want to do is for the third example, what we want is for you to try this example to see if you could try to do the same procedure as me. Okay. Okay, hello class. So we will begin with this example. What we have is the same dimension, so 1x and then 3 single boxes. And then for the x plus 3, and then for the x plus 2, we have is 1x and then 2 single x's or 1s. So this will be x, this will be 1 and 1. This will be x, this will be 1 and 1. So now what we want to do is to multiply them across. So now we have x and x, which gives us x squared, just how the other one. So now you have x times 1 gives us is x. And x times 1 will be x. So now we go towards a 1. So 1 times x will just be x. 1 times 1 will be 1. And 1 times 1 will be 1. So it'll be sort of the same for each one. X be one block and then one more. And then again with the 1x be one block and then one block. So in this case we have is 1x squared plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5x and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones in this case. So our answer will be x squared plus 5x plus 6 plus 6. So now what we want is, now how can we find to multiply x minus 2 times x plus 3? What will be a different type of method we would use for these problems? So how can we use the algebra tiles to multiply? Okay, so thank you. Thank you, and that will be the end of the lesson.